Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Everyone
Hare
can hear
Krishna.
us, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
No echo. Perfect.
Just Mohit Prabhu needs to disconnect the audio, then it should be all good.
Can you increase the voice? तो बात के टेप थोड़ा सा लो कर सकते हैं. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. I can hear myself. Okay, while Mohit Prabhu is setting up, getting technical support on the phone. So before we start, I thank you everyone for coming. And before we start the class, I would like to humbly pray. As we know, His Holiness Kanan Maharaj is not in a very good state of health. So we try to dedicate all the classes these days for his health. And we request all of you to please pray for his good health. He can recover soon. And then he can be with us for many, many more years to come, to guide us, to bless us. So please pray for him. We have some other difficulties. Yeah, some major difficulty. Yeah. Talk later. Okay, so and also we'd like to welcome Kanika Mataji. She's not new to us, but new to the batch. So we'll say Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for joining us. So let's start. Last week we only did the revision of the previous verses, which was not bad. We did 10 verses the before class. It was all right. Today there's no revision, but we'll just pick up the section where we are in, and then we'll continue. Probably, maybe you can open 41. It just gets a better connection. So we'll just quickly look at 241, and then we'll get inside. So I know we have done this verse, but this is a very, very important verse. Prabhupada has quoted this verse many times in his lectures. It's very important for devotees. We'll just have a relook at this verse so that we can connect better with the 42. So who would like to volunteer for this verse? Just translation and some main points. Maybe Rasanand Prabhuji, you want to do that one? heater on? Chahiye? Can you slow it? I don't need the heater. I'm just slow. थोड़ा सा अगर कर सके. The smallest noise disturbs. ठीक है, अच्छा ठीक. Okay, no problem. Yes.
Those who are on the path are rescued in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are rescued is many branched. So here, Krishna is trying to tell the Vyavasaya Kita Buddhi. So basically, it has something to do with business mind mentality.
Vyavasaya.
Yeah, Vyavasaya Kita. Okay, such person are having Eka Guru Nandana. They are having focused. They are focused in one direction.
Yes.
So always their business analytical mind, they look in that way.
Yes.
So here Krishna is saying you should have such a mentality to be in Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
Rather than if you go away, the Prabhu Sarkar, hey, Antarshcha. So Buddhi also definitely, or else you will go into different paths,
Yes.
various different paths you go.
Yes.
Then the intelligence of those will be in multi-directional, multi-branched.
Yeah.
So they will not be focused. So please focus on that.
Yes. Thank you. So why this verse is important? We see here Krishna's personal recommendation is added here. Huh? So this very few verses in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna personally recommending to do something. So this is one of those verses where he's recommending. What's the recommendation? Vyavasaya, because so word Vyavasaya we all know, and we are all Vyavasai in one sense, like we want benefit, profit. Anything we do, we want profit. Be honest. Now, it may be for devotees spiritual profit, but we look for profit. Without profit, we don't act. So the word is used in a very nice sense. And I think Charu Mataji gave a very nice example last time in last class as a person, a company person is always looking things in a financial perspective. Huh? So what's the financial benefit if I do this? So devotees are also looking for some benefit. What's the benefit devotees are looking for? What is the spiritual benefit in that? If I chant one extra round, for example, what's the benefit? Be honest. Huh? Prabhupada said, if you don't have target to go back to Godhead, you will not go back to Godhead. So make a target. Now we talk about all this, even if you have desire. Radhanath Maharaj clearly mentions, if you have a desire to go back to Godhead, you will not go back to Godhead. If you have a desire to go back to Godhead, you will not go back to Godhead. Why? There's a desire for you. I want to go back to Godhead. Why I want to go? This world is too much, isn't it? But Prabhupada said, again on a practical term, so philosophy is all same. Practical terms, you have to have, because unless you make a target to pass certain exam, will you pass the exam? No. For exam only we try to study. That's why there's exam in Bhakti Shastri. But the exam is not everything. Actually, exam is just a part of the journey. So we are not here, I hope so not, to get high certificate of marks that I'm going to get 99% in Bhakti Shastri. I can show it to. No, we don't want that much. Why not? We can get it, but that's not the purpose. That's a part of the journey. So the part of the journey is to go to Vaikuntha. It's not the goal of the journey. What's the goal of the journey? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clearly mentions that na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagdish kamaye mam janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhaktir ahit kitoye. So my purpose is to do service to Krishna. Where and how, that Krishna will decide. But my purpose is not to go back to God. But Prabhupada said that. Why? Unless you make the target, you will not make the attempt. Otherwise, people become complacent. Yahan par hi theek hai. What's the problem? I'm all right. I'm all right. No, you're not all right. My Guru Maharaj says, if someone says, I'm trying to chant 16 rounds, that means you're not chanting 16 rounds. You said, I'm trying. Be honest. So we have to try. So this is the verse for us where we have to make one pointed focus of our life is Vyavasayika Buddhir Eke Hai Kurunandana. What is the Eke Hai? What is the Eke Hai refers for devotees here? What's the Ek focus? One focus for a devotee to become a big leader, big guru, have 10,000 followers, 50,000 followers. That's the Ek focus. Is that right? To do devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord. See, I can do devotional service again in 3 modes. I can be in mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. I do devotional service to show others how great I am. So very clear focus a devotee has for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. That's what we say. So all glories to Guru and Gauranga. And what we think inside, all glories to me. That means I am so great. Now that feeling has to go. And that's why this verse is extremely important, where Krishna is personally giving recommendation. If you have Bahushakha, if you are multi-dimensionally thinking, then what happens? Dronacharya will say, get out. Arjun was saying, I can only see the eye of the bird. Dronacharya, shoot the arrow. So again, we are not there, but at least the focus, the target is given personally by Krishna. So any other target has to go on the sideline, has to go on the side. Initially, we say, okay, you can have a big car, big house, whatever, big job, chalega, chalega, chalega. But eventually, what is desired? Not to quit the job, but what is the eventual desire is, you're doing everything for the pleasure of Lord. Initially, we're doing big job for what? Whose pleasure? My pleasure. I am so great. I am a CEO of that company. 10,000 people work under me. You know, Prabhuji? No one works under me, but I'm just saying. So initially, so you start from there, but eke hai Kurunandana. Eke hai na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. Gauranga Prabhu was saying, bas na hata do. Dhanam, janam, sundari. Yahi to chahiye. This is all we are looking for, isn't it? Dhanam, janam, sundari. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very clear. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. Initially, you can start dhan, okay. Jan, okay. Sundari, kavita, sab okay. Everything is okay. So AKH, again, AKH is very important. This word is very important. And eventually you have to become very, very, very focused. Is it going to benefit my spiritual life or not benefit my spiritual life? I will eat if it benefits my spiritual life. Otherwise, I will not eat. I will go there if it benefits my spiritual life. I was listening one lecture where Prabhu was saying, Madhvananda Prabhu, he was saying, taking a photo with the spiritual master is not devotee association. Taking a photo with the spiritual master is not devotee association. Now, what to speak of going out with other devotees on a picnic, this and that. That's not devotee association, which we casually use this word. I'm with devotees. AKH Kurnanda, what I am doing for the pleasure of God. Once Prabhupada was asked, how do you know you're a devotee? Prabhupada said, when you come in front of Radha Gopinath, or say Radha Krishna, any deities, say in our case Radha Gopinath, and your mind says, what can I do for you, Radha Gopinath? Usually what's our prayer? Radha Gopinath, what are you doing for me? So many problems going on. Why can't you resolve this problem? At least resolve that one, and resolve that in this way, which benefits me, which popularizes me, my benefit, my benefit. Prabhupada said, when your heart says, what can I do for you? Nothing for yourself. You are asking for the deities. What can I do for you? Now, what can we do for the deity? When the desire comes in the heart, what can I do for these deities? Then you're becoming a devotee. So, AKH Kurunandana. So it's a pretty hard and high bar, which has been said by Krishna. But by repeatedly reading these verses, one day our meditation will go there. Instead of being our meditation for our benefit, will convert one day into Krishna's benefit. So this verse is very important. Now, immediately after this verse, the verse 42 comes, and that's why the connection is important. Let's look at 42
Prabhu,
and see the
Hare
connection
Krishna,
between
Prabhu.
41 and 42.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
That's
Can I
40.
ask a question very
Let's do
quickly?
40. We just crossed that before that. Okay, so we'll read this first and let's discuss and
Prabhuji is
compare.
not able to hear us.
Madhuri
Let
Mataji
me
can
just
read
connect.
Sanskrit. Pravadantiya vipashchitaha Vedavadrataha partha Maybe another devotee can read another verse and then read the translation. What do you want to read? Kamatmanaha swargapara Janma karma phala Kriya vishesha bahuna Bhoga Ishwarya Gati. translation.
Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flattering words of their neighbors, which recommended various cooking activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resulted good birth, Ava, and so forth. Being desirous of self-gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this.
So just now Krishna was talking about his personal recommendation, but now he's telling what happens otherwise. Can you do it in this? So Yam Imam Pushpitam Vacham. So if you remember the previous section, this is the Karma Kanda section, what Krishna recommended, Hato va prapsasi sargam jitva va bhakshase mahim. So if you die in the battlefield, what will happen? Hato va prapsasi sargam. You will attain Sargaloka. And if you remain alive, you will be having whole prakriti for bhoga. So this sort of calculation, who does this calculation? A karmakandi only will do that calculation. If I do this yajna, I will get this phala. If I do that yajna, if I go to this pujari, I may get this benefit. And bigger yajna, bigger benefit. Smaller yajna, these sort of calculations, normally people do that. So Krishna, although he has personally said this section, now we are going deeper and deeper. So he's saying, Yam Imam Pushpitam Vacham. But whatever I have just said, which is not Krishna's recommendation, it is just a normal reporting. You're reporting what's happening in the world. It may not be your recommendation on that. So Krishna is not recommending that, but he's saying it happens. But now he's saying, Yam Imam, whatever I've just spoken, Pushpitam Vacham. Pushpa mane flower. We all know that word, Pushpa. These are all flowery words. Pravadanti, and who speaks as Avipashyataha. Vipashyata means one who can discriminate between what I should do, what I should not do. Discriminatory intelligence, that's what is recommended. Now in the modern era, we cannot use this word discrimination. You have in offices anti-discrimination policies. You have to pass a test. Everywhere on each office will have that. Politically incorrect. But it is shastrically correct. Shastra recommends to have discriminatory power. Now, discrimination here is not about who is black and who is white, male, female, and all that. But discrimination is how I can better advance in spiritual life. If by going to this beach, for example, my spiritual consciousness will go down or not go. But when I go with devotees on Harinam, I will definitely go. Because my spiritual consciousness will increase, and I will also help others to increase their spiritual consciousness. So the discriminatory power has to be there. I used to be, suppose, not I was, but alcoholic. I still like to go with them, those people who still drink alcohol. My consciousness will increase or decrease in their association, obviously go down. So I should have the discrimination power. They were my friends 20 years ago. Not anymore. Now I go with devotees. So they will uplift my consciousness. So Yam Imam Pushpitam Vacham. So who is speaking all that? Ved Vadartaha. So Ved Vadarta. We'll read this verse in Ishopanishad as well. I'll just explain quickly. Ved Vadartaha. So one who talks about Vedas. Now in Vedas, generally speaking, now Veda itself is a big word. Let's take 4 books of Vedas on a very high level. So those 4 books of Vedas generally says 75% talks about Karma Kanda. 75% of the Vedic language is talking about Karma Kanda. Why are they talking about Karma Kanda? Because the Vedic scriptures are dealing with people who are conditioned. Like a person, most of us in the jail. So in the jail, the language they have to speak in the jail is suitable for the prisoners. They will not speak a language which is not suitable for the prisoners. So they, whatever assignments they give, which is suitable for them. So our assignments given by Krishna in the Vedas, for example, 75% talking about Karma Kanda. What does Karma Kanda mean? If you do this, you get this benefit. If you do that, you get that benefit. So all these things are spoken in Vedas. They are spoken by the Brahmanas, by the people who are Vedvadataha. They just focus on the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. So in Vedas, we have Karma Kanda, we have Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. 3 sections are there. 75% is filled with Karma Kanda. It says rest 20% filled with Jnana Kanda. Only 5% is Bhakti Kanda. But the intelligent person will search out those parts which are the Bhakti section. And they can get to the end of the cube very fast. So instead of going in the, a normal queue, they go on an express queue. We have in the airport, we have this, walking elevators. What do you call that? Belt. Huh? Travelator. No, not escalator. Travelator. Here's the word. Travelator. So you stand on that, then even if you're standing only, then also you are going faster than the other people, because you're standing on a very special belt. So that's the Bhakti section. And the Kandi people are slowly walking. They're also walking. They're not stop. They're very, very slow walkers. But you stand on the elevator, Bhakti elevator, you go super fast, super fast. So Vedvadrataha. So the people are speaking about Vedvadrataha, which is dealing with the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. Whatever they speak, they are Pushpitam Vacham. They are flowery words. Flowery words means they are very superficial words. There's not much into it. So yeah, we want Pushpitam Vacham. And who speaks the Avipashyata? Avipashyata is very important. Who doesn't have discriminatory power? Now, most of the people in the world, do they have discriminatory power? They don't. Like they are just into, very normal eating, sleeping, mating, and depending on purpose. And you are eating in a sophistication, like this purpose is actually. The dog eats in the street, you eating in a big palace. What's the difference? It says dog sleeps on the street, you sleep on a big bed, $5,000 bed. Dog mates on the street, you mate in a big palace. Same activity, you're so-called sophisticating the same activity. There's nothing else we do in the big house. Do we do a big TV, entertainment, something like that? Then eat chips, whatever you eat. So so other people do not speak like that. So other people means who have discriminatory power, they do not speak the flowery words. Is it okay? This verse. So previous verse was recommendation, and then he comes to the normal confusion. He say because it's Baldev Vidyabhushan asked a question. Sorry, Vishnu Chakrathakur asked a question by Arjuna, but Arjuna is saying, you are saying we should be Eke Kurunandana, right? We should be one-pointed focus. But you just spoke, and also I've heard in Vedas, they are talking about yagyas and going to Sargloka and all that. Krishna says, yes, they are speaking, but who are they speaking? Vedvadrataha Partha. Now, Astini Vadinaha. So other people are not speaking. Other people are who are Vipashyataha. Who are speaking Avipashyata, who does not have discriminatory power. They speak, they like childs. Children, you offer them a chocolate or something like that, and they can do certain good activities. And sometimes mother use that weapon. If you chant 1-2 rounds, you'll get one extra sweet. It works for children. But slowly, when the children grows up, then they are not attracted to that little chocolate. They want something more solid, maybe a bicycle. And after a bicycle, then they would want something higher. Anyway, so we should have discriminatory power. What's the discrimination we do? How I'm going to benefit in my spiritual life. Why? Because we are Eke Kurunandana. Eke Kurunandana. Am I going to increase my spiritual consciousness or decrease? And if we have literally this focus, we can work very nicely. We can work very, very nicely. But what we think, everyone is a devotee, everything is a devotee association, and everything I'm doing is Yukta Vairagya. That's actually a misconception about ourselves. First, we don't have any Vairagya. How can we do Yukta Vairagya? Vairagya is a big thing. Bhakti said, Nand Maharaj could do Yukta Vairagya. We think we are doing Yukta Vairagya. Difficult task. Anyway, next one. Kama Atmanaha Swargapara Janma Karma Phal Pradam. So now Krishna is talking about those people who are Vedvadrataha. What they speak about? Kama Atmanaha. Kam means desire. Now sometimes Kam is translated as lust. Lust is a very gross desire, but it's also a desire. Literally, Kam means Kamna, desire. So Kama Atmanaha. So their heart is filled with what? Kam. Now here Kam can refer to a small desire to a very, very big desire. Here big desire is what? Swargapara. What's my big desire? Generally, Swargapara. I'll go to Swarga. You see in the card in India, when someone passes away, my grandfather is Swargavasi. How many people write Vaikunthavasi? I don't know. Very few, very, very few. Swargavasi, Swargavasi, Swargavasi. That's the only conception we have, mostly speaking. Not everyone will have it, mostly. So what is the Kama here? Eventual desire, Swarg jana hai. What you will do in Swarga? Janma Karma Phal Pradam. So when I do a journey to Swarg Loka, so Janma, you can say Swarg Janma. Yeah. So if I do a lot of things, what will happen? Janma Karma. I will take birth, beautiful birth in Janma, in Swargaloka, and I will be able to do karma, beautiful karma there. What's a beautiful karma? Enjoy, like Indra. Indra is sitting and enjoying everything. I will also be, if not Indra, a little Indra, I'll be there enjoying. How I will achieve that? Krishna says, Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. Now, Kriya also refers to Yajna. Kriya here refers to Yajna, sacrifice. So, to achieve that third line, second line, Jab Kam Sarvatam, what did Kriya Vishesh Bahulam? Bahulam means bahut sare, many, Vishesh, specific Kriya. Kriya means Yajna. So, to achieve that, what do they do? Kriya Vishesh Bahulam. So that what they will get, Bhog Aishwarya Gatim Prati. Gati means destination. We have that verse now. Hare Nam, Hare Namaive Kevalam, Kalau Naste, Gatir Anyatha. Gatir here refers to not speed. What is your Gati? Here Gati refers to destination. There's no other destination. Here Gati refers to destination. What's the destination? Bhoga and Aishwarya. What does Bhoga and Aishwarya refers to? Bhog means sense gratification. Now here we can go a little bit deeper here. Here Bhoga also refers to sensual gratification. Now sense gratification, sensual gratification, they are in one bucket. At the same time they are different as well. So Bhoga here refers to sense gratification, specifically sensual gratification. And Aishwarya refers to opulence, lot of opulence. I am a king. All this is my citizens, and I have 10,000 army under my command. I can make one phone call and 10,000 people will move. How great I am. That's called Aishwarya, controlling power. I have so much under me. And Bhoga means how I am enjoying, how my senses are enjoying. I remember the example of Hiranyakashipu, Bhoga, Aishwarya Gati. The destination is what? Bhoga and Aishwarya. So we're all, sorry to say, little Hiranyakashipu. Maybe not you, but I am. Because we have these desires, Bhoga and Aishwarya. Who doesn't have? Very hard to say. Maybe degrees vary. We all have it. Who doesn't want Bhoga? Who doesn't want Aishwarya? So in this 42 and 43, Krishna is sort of reporting what is again contemporarily going on. But he is saying, if you're talking about these things, going to Swargaloka, achieving a beautiful janma, doing beautiful karma there is only Bhoga. And having a desire of Bhoga and Aishwarya, Gati. My destination is what? I will become a big person in the world. Everyone will know my name. I'll become a world-class celebrity or something. If you have all these desires, you're avipashchita. Krishna is calling them avipashchita. You don't have discriminatory power. It says in this motivational seminars, think big. But what is the think big? You become a big person, materially speaking. That's what they say, isn't it? So that big is also actually very small. It's very, very small. You talk, what's Vritasur? What Vritasur is saying? I don't want na nakaprastham, na parameshtam. I don't want nakaprastha. I don't want pataloka. I don't want swargaloka. I don't want brahmaloka. Now, he is thinking big. A devotee thinks big. What this motivational speaker will talk about, think big. What think big means? You become a billionaire, that's all. This world is actually too small for a devotee, too small. Not in terms of practicing devotion, in terms of achievement. I become big. Big means what? What do you mean by big? There many big came and went away. Sikandar came and went away. Sikandar, Alexander the Great. So many kings came. Elizabeth I, Elizabeth II, I don't know which Elizabeth is at the moment. Number 10, King Edward, 1, 2, 3. So whenever they were there, they were thinking, I'm the controller of the whole world. It says in British Satta, the sun never set. That's what they said. Now, where is that British Satta? In America, in Australia, everywhere. So many big people came. They thought, I can do it. Hiranyakashipu also thought the same way, isn't it? Ravan also thought the same way. But where are the Ravan? Where is the Hiranyakashipu? Now, if we have the tendency of same Ravan and Hiranyakashipu, what will be our gati? Avipashchitaha. So Krishna says, even if you think very big, actually you are thinking very small. There's nothing big in becoming a big Ravan or big Hiranyakashipu. You cannot become actually Ravan and Hiranyakashipu. They were so big. Someone was asking, one Maharaj is saying, see, Ravan also got killed by Lord Ram and he went back to Godhead, right? Why don't we also perform the activities like that? So we enjoy whole life. Basically, his point was enjoyment. Just enjoy or Later Ram will come or Narsingadev will come. And Maharaj said, you cannot become Ravan. Someone will just slap you while you will fall down on the street. You cannot become that big Gunda. He was a big Gunda. Ravan was a big Gunda. He was a Gunda. But a big Gunda. You cannot become big Gunda. So Lord Ram will not come. Just one street guy will be enough to slap you and push you down. Huh? One little heart attack or something. So we cannot become. So our safe position is to just practice our sadhana nicely and pray to our senior Vaishnavas for their blessings and get out. Become Vipashyata. So Vipashyata is very, very important. And devotees are Vipashyata. We should be proud to say, yes, I am discriminating. Am I going to increase my spiritual life or decrease? If my spiritual life is going down, I will not perform. Simple as that, whether it's external or internal. Sometimes our internals also trouble us. Actually, our internals trouble us more than the external. So external, many times we can tolerate, but not internals. So that's a journey. That's a journey. We are weak, but slowly, by these sort of associations, hope will become strong. Okay, let's move forward. Yes. Yes. Yes, mode of ignorance, Prabhuji. I'm performing devotional service. Suppose I'm performing a kirtan or I'm performing an arti. I think I'm the best pujari. I'm the best kirtan in Sydney Yatra. No one else sings better than me. No one else gives classes better than me. No one else cooks better than me. If I have that feeling, actually I'm performing devotional service. I'm cooking for the Lord. But what my mindset is, I am the best. This is very in mode of devotional service, performing mode of ignorance, because I don't like you. And Krishna will never like if I don't like you, because you're also a very dear kid of Krishna. So by not liking you or by competing with you, by putting you down, I'm performing devotional service in mode of ignorance. Another is mode of passion. I think I'm the best. I don't hate you, but I think actually, no, I'm better. I can do better than you. If I have that qualification, that means I'm performing devotional service in mode of passion. So I will not put my name forward that, but if I think if I get it, I can do better. Sometimes devotees push each other down in devotional service as well. They show their guru how great I am. When the guru comes, they're always forward. The guru is not there, they are just doing some here and there. When guru comes in, many things are. It can be in ignorance, it can be in passion, it can also be in goodness, but it has to be in pure goodness. It's for the pleasure of guru I'm performing any activity, not for my pleasure, not for my name and fame. Sridhar Maharaj said very nice thing. The Sridhar Maharaj, most of you would know, ISKCON Sannyasi I'm talking, not the other Sridhar Maharaj. So when he was at deathbed for quite a while, another Maharaj went to see Sridhar Maharaj. So this Maharaj was giving some conversation with Maharaj. So he said, if a scriptural test does not transform our heart, we are only reading it for name and fame. Maharaj said that. If it does not transform our heart, we are reading it for name and fame. Kadam. Big statement. Big statement. Why are we reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? To give a good class. Really? Good starting point. This is not wrong. It's not Maharaj is wrong, but this is not the end. I can speak good, I can look good in our community. No, that's not the point. And that's why Krishna is talking about being equipoised. When Samman comes, it's fine. When Apman comes, it's fine. When Labh comes, it's fine. When Hani comes, it's fine. Because you are not doing for that purpose. But when we start calculating our devotional credits into material credits, that's where the problem starts. That's where we have disagreements between devotees. If everyone's serving the Father, Krishna, where is the disagreement? Disagreement only comes when we go into mode of passion and ignorance. We're all doing devotion, all chanting 16 rounds.
Kind of feeling. Even though we are trying to follow,
We are conditioned. We are conditioned. We are journeying.
Follow the process.
Yeah, we're trying to follow. We are in nursery and KG. I am at least, We have to go to PhD level. It's far. But that's the way Krishna is teaching us. We are in nursery KG. We are like a child. If I can do 16 hours, I'm so great. Nothing great about doing 16 hours. Great is about your desire to serve Krishna. That's great. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, is any Charu Mataji has a question? Okay, I can't see.
Prabhu, I was just.
Mataji, I can't hear you. Okay.
Can others hear
You have
me?
to fix it, Prabhu. I'll move on.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, we can hear you. I
Mataji
think
and
it's-
Prabhuji, please have your question. I can't hear anyone. Somehow, Mohit Prabhu is technology expert. We'll answer your question. Huh? Just hang on while Prabhuji is working. Huh? I am joined audio. I have joined with audio. Okay, I think Prabhu, you try to fix it. Hare Krishna, we'll just keep the momentum. Nothing is broken. We'll fix it. Move 244. Who's next? After?
Oh, Aishwarya Prasaktanam, Taya Anta Tesasam.
We will
Om Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Anta Tesasam.
Yasatya Buddhi,
Buddhi
Bhavana Vidiyate.
Samadhi
The minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material appearance, who are bewildered by such things,
You do it. I can't.
the Supreme Lord does not.
Is it okay if you just control from there? I can speak louder, you can come closer. Because I don't want to disturb the whole class. I'm sure that can be controlled from that computer. Okay, so Krishna is again Bhog Aishwarya Prasakta Nam. So Bhoga and Aishwarya, he spoke in the previous verse as well. So just continuing the same thought pattern. He's saying if you are asakta, clearly he's saying, right? Bhog Aishwarya Prasakta. Actually, he's saying Prasakta, not asakta. Asakta means attached. Prasakta means Prakarshena asakta. Completely attached. Mera hai, it's mine, you know. And what is mine? Bhoga and Aishwarya. The tendency of Bhoga and Aishwarya, if you are too much attached to it, what is the result of it? Taya apahat chetasam. You remember Arjun also used the same word, lobho pahat chetasam. In the first chapter, he said lobha pahat chetasam. So because of greed, our cheta, our consciousness is being abducted. That's what he was saying. Now Krishna is using the same word. Our consciousness is abducted by what? Bhoga and Aishwarya, and we are very attached to it. My Bhoga and my Aishwarya. If my Aishwarya goes away, I become very disturbed. How come he or she is not listening to me? How come that has happened? My Bhoga, my sense gratification is reduced. You know, my car is reduced. Previously, I used to drive some BMW C model or whatever. Now I'm driving, what's the lowest one? I don't know, some Toyota simple one, Corolla. If my Bhoga goes down, my Aishwarya goes down. So what happens? Taya aparat chesam. Actually, consciousness has been abducted by Bhoga and Aishwarya. Why are you disturbed? Because of lessening of Bhoga and Aishwarya. That's what happens to all of us, isn't it? So what happens in this sort of situation? Coming back to the AKH Kurunandana 4. So 241 is very important. It's connecting with all the verses. Vyavasayatika buddhi, wahan pe bhi tha, and that's there also same. What was it? Samadha na vidhiyate. Samadha refers to samadhi. Samadhi again refers to being situated in Krishna consciousness, in a stable mind, not like 5 minutes you are Krishna conscious and then the rest of the time you are not in Krishna consciousness. So if you want to be in samadhi, be fixed in Krishna consciousness, Vyavasayatika buddhi samadha na vidhiyate. The samadhi will not be attained by the person whose mati, whose consciousness has been abducted by what? Bhoga and Aishwarya. Why? Because he or that person is too much attached to it. The verse is very clear. So what was the target again? Ekhe Kurunandana, Vyavasayatika buddhi, Ekhe Kurunandana. You want to become buddhi, Ekhe, one pointed focus. But you will not achieve that. Why? Because your mind is Taya aparat chesam, is kidnapped. Your consciousness is kidnapped. Consciousness kidnapped, what does it mean? My mind, my focus, my meditation is on how can I increase my bhoga and how can I increase my aishwarya? How can I increase my sense gratification? How can I upgrade my car, upgrade my house, upgrade my clothes, upgrade my look? I may take some anti-aging injection. I've heard you look 10 years younger. I don't know how it works, but I heard that's how they do it. So you look 10 years younger. So that is my bhoga. And aishwarya is again how I'm increasing my opulence externally. So if my consciousness has been abducted by these two, Vyavasayatika buddhi will not be achieved. Will not be achieved. Because your Vyavasaya is where? Your Vyavasaya is related with the body. Okay. Next one. (245). Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Nistraigunyo Bhavachakra. Nirvando Niruchakrasto. Diyo Shema.
Oh Arjuna, with one confidence and belief in one. He is based on all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and re-establishing the self.
Yeah, this is very nice verse. This is Trigunya Vishya Veda. So Veda, which is again taken to the 4 books, for example, they deal with what? The Vishay, the subject of the Vedas is what? Trigunya. Generally, as I said, the 75% talking about karma, and karma is again coming in the mode of goodness. So many times we talk about Shiv Puran, talking about some Kali Yagya and all those things. They are in mode of ignorance, but still they are given in Vedas. They say that worship is tamasi worship, mode of ignorance worship. Then we have some passionate worship, say for Indra, we are doing passionate worship. Then we come to Lord Vishnu, for example, which is the worship in mode of goodness. But then also Vishnu also we can worship in mode of goodness, or Vishnu we can worship in mode of pure goodness. Worshipping Vishnu in mode of goodness means anyone? Worshipping Vishnu in mode of goodness.
He thinks that Vishnu is same as Shiva or Brahma, and then we worship Vishnu
For some material gain.
for some material gain.
Example? Like Dhruv Maharaj thinking. It wasn't wrong, but he worshipped Vishnu for what purpose? He had a great desire, right? Again, Bhagavatam says, Akama Saro Kamava, Mosh Kama Udharvi. Whatever your akama, you have no kamna, you have lots of kamna, it doesn't moksha kama, it doesn't matter. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So that's what Bhagavatam says. But the starting point of Dhruva was what? I want a great kingdom. I want a great. But he went to worship Vishnu. That was very nice. But that is, you can say, worship of Vishnu in mode of goodness. Now, when we are worshipping, at least we can say by Prabhupada's mercy, we are not worshipping Vishnu in mode of goodness, are we? We are worshipping in mode of pure goodness. Bhanu Maharaj said, even if you are not a pure devotee, but your target is to become pure devotee, you are still considered a pure devotee, as per Bhanu Maharaj. And he gives the example of nectar of devotion, a green mango to a ripe mango. We read that. So the journey from green mango to ripe, they are all mango. So our target is not to achieve Bhoga and Aishwarya by worshipping Radha Gopinath. Now, while we are worshipping, we are contaminated. We all agree with that. But our goal is not to get more material wealth from Radha Gopinath. That's why I go to temple. The goal is not there. So Krishna said, Trigunya Vishya. So these Vedas are dealing generally with Trigunya, with 3 modes of material nature. So what is this Trigunya? So what you have to become? Bhava means to become. Arjun is Arjun. So hey Arjun, you should become what you should Nistrigunya. Nistrigunya means sometimes we use the word Sagun and Nirgun in Hindi, and there's a lot of fight in India, especially. Sagun means a deity which you can see, Nirgun means which you can't see. They call Nirgun as Jyoti, Brahma. But actually, Nirgun does not mean Jyoti or Brahma, isn't it? Nirgun means beyond gunas. It's still a deity, say Radha Gopinath, beyond gunas. That's the real meaning. The real meaning is not, oh, light is called Nirgun. Hum Nirgun Brahma ke upasak hain. Actually, Nirgun Brahma refers to Vishnu, to Krishna. It doesn't refer to a light. But they don't understand. They just stop at light. So here is saying, this Triguna you should become, you should go beyond the 3 gunas, which are given in the Vedas. Now, if you refer in Ajamil Upakhyan, in 6.2, when Yamdutas and Vishnu Dutas are conversing with each other. So Yamdutas are saying, Vedo Narayana Sakshat. They say, Yamdutas is saying, Veda Narayana Sakshat. So they say actually here, Veda actually is Krishna. And here Krishna himself is saying, do not follow the Veda. Another example which comes in Prabhupada actually gave of Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha is considered incarnation of the Lord. But when he personally came, what he says, he rejected Vedas. He said, even if God comes and reject the Shastra, I'll reject the God. Shastra is so important. And Gautam Buddha said, reject the Shastra. We said, I reject you. So We don't worship Gautam Buddha, isn't it? No one worships Gautam Buddha, but we have in Dashavatar. Huh? Jayadev Goswami is writing the Sutra, Dashavatar Sutra. He's a varied incarnation. Huh? But what his philosophy was in terms of Shastra, reject the Vedas. So what's the response of the devotees? I reject you. So rejecting you does not mean we disrespect you. Rejecting, we do not appreciate your philosophy. So when we're talking about rejection, we should not be taking rejection of the person, rejection of the philosophy of the person. When Prabhupada was asked, what is the gati, the destination of these Baha'i people? Prabhupada was asked. So Prabhupada asked the question, what is this Baha'i faith? Prabhupada did not just comment directly, oh, they will go to hell or they will go to... No. Prabhupada said, what is the faith? Talk about the faith. Prabhupada never spoke about the person. He never criticized the person. They say in Christianity as well, hate the sin, not the sinner. Hate the sin, not the sinner. Person, we are all pure Krishna conscious beings. Prabhupada says in his explanation, we are all pure Krishna conscious beings. But our desires are contaminators. We should hate the desires, not that person. So Krishna is saying, Traigunya Vishya Veda. So Veda do talk about three modes of material nature, but Arjun, you should become Nistraigunya Bhava Arjun. So, okay, so I become transcendental, I go beyond this. So what should I do? Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto. Nirdvanda. Dvanda refers to what? Duality. What does duality mean? Yeah, today is very cold, so okay, we are wearing jackets here. Hot and cold, man upman. Someone insults us, someone praises us. So these things will happen. So nirdvando, you should get out of this. Nitya sattvasto, you should be situated in what? Sattva, all the time. Nitya sattvasto. Istva means to be situated. Nitya means always. Sattva means sattva. Be situated in sattva. Niryoga shem atman, and you should become finally atman. Now we have word called dhanvan, balavan. You should know that. What does balavan means? Who has a lot of bala. He is called balavan. Dhanvan means who has a lot of dhan. Atman means who is the possessor of Atma. Now, how a Atma becomes a possessor of Atma? You see, that's what he's saying. See, here Arjun is referred to as Atma. So he's saying, you Atma become Atmavan. You know the difference? Self-realization. So basically, your Atma is under your control. So right now, our Atmas are not our control, to be honest, isn't it? We have many aspirations to become devotee, but how many times we become devotee and how many times we end up becoming Asura? So we're all struggling in that state. So Krishna is saying you should become Atmavan. You should come out of these dualities of Sukha, Dukha, heat, cold, man, upman. Come out of it. And what you should become Atmavan. As far as you're dealing with three modes of material nature, you can never become Atmavan. You have to become transcendentally situated. Is it clear, this verse? Very nice verse. Next one. Can you come up again? 246. Sarvata samtodake tahan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha.
All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them.
So this is a little analogy Krishna is giving. It's a Vedic culture analogy, but you will understand. So Yava Nat Udupane. So Udupane, Prabhupada writes a well of water. And the second word used in the second line, Samplutodake. Samplutodake, Prabhupada writes great reservoir of water. So Yavanat as Udupane. Udupane, in a village, there's a well, and I heard in a lecture, actually, I've not seen it. In villages previously, there were different wells for different purposes. So one well will only be used for washing clothes. One well was used for drinking water. One well was used for, say, general usage of water. So there are different wells for different purposes. So if you have different wells, which are serving different purposes, but you have one big nadi, one big river, will the river be able to solve all your purposes which well was able to solve? Yes, but even greater than that, isn't it? So if you have, say, 5 wells and you're doing your 5 activities, one river is enough to do all those 5 activities and even more. So Krishna is giving this analogy as Prabhupada writes, all purposes served by a small well, which is Udpane, a small body of water, a well. Sarvataha, all the purpose is solved. Samplutodake. Udak refers to big water. We have Luptapindoda Kriyaha. We use the word in the first chapter as well. So all purposes served by a small well can at once be served by great reservoir of water. And then the next line is the analogy. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu. Sarveshu vedeshu. Whatever is written in the Vedas, whatever the purpose of Vedas is known by Brahmanasya Vijanata. So Brahmanasya here refers to a transcendentalist who knows the purpose of the Veda. Vijanata. He knows them. So the purpose of the Veda, what's the purpose of Veda? 15:15. Vedesha sarve aham eva vedyo. So what is the purpose of Veda? Said by Krishna himself. I am to be known. So if you know me, you know all the Vedas. And we have this verse by Devhuti in third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where she says, if you are chanting the holy name on your tongue, you have done all the Vedic rituals, you have taken bath in all the holy rivers, you have done all the things which are needed because you have come to the conclusion of chanting the holy name of the Lord. So we take Hare Krishna sometimes very easily, take it for granted, but actually chanting Hare Krishna is the highest activity prescribed in the Vedas, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in all the Vedic literature. Krishna personally saying it. So if you know me, if you're trying to please me, like you may feel, I'm chopping vegetables for Radha Gopinath anniversary or some other festival. It's a very simple activity, but whom you're directing this activity for? Purely for the pleasure of Radha Gopinath. As per Devhuti Mata, as per this verse given by Devhuti Mata, actually you have taken bath in all the holy rivers, you have done all the yajnas, you have done all the tapasyas, and then you have come to this platform. What is that? Chop vegetables for Radha Gopinath. It sounds so simple, isn't it? So simple, but this is the highest. Radha Govind Maharaj was telling, in this day and age, we all like big yajnas. Something big should happen, and then only the big result will come out. But then he gave the example of a small mobile. Prabhuji has a small mobile, but this acts like a big computer, isn't it? This is small mobile can have 64 gig memory. You have 64 gig. No. What, Prabhuji? 128. Okay, so I'm talking a small. So a small chip can contain so much, and we like that. Do you like to carry that old brick Ericsson mobile? Have you seen it? I had it. That was my first mobile. That was very big one, had an antenna as well. Won't fit in the pocket, have to put the bag. Now we don't like it. If that model comes, yeah, you may put in your cupboard, but you will not buy it for regular usage. You like small models, huh? So small things actually does great thing. Now, not every small thing will do the great thing. Every small bona fide thing, suppose just Samsung mobile, Samsung iPhone, bona fide. It's bona fide. I'm saying it's not fake mobile. It's a real mobile, authorized by a company. It runs on some processor. So a bona fide small things can work great. So it's not necessary we have to do big yajnas only to. Sometimes people of ISKCON get criticized. Bas Hare Krishna hi karte rehte ho, kuch aur karte hi nahi hai. All you do is just chant Hare Krishna. Just sit and chant. What will that do? Actually, they have no idea what this can do. They have no idea. This Hare Krishna mantra is not a mundane sound vibration. It says Golokere Premadana Hari Nama Sankirtan. This comes straight from Goloka. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. So in Kali Yuga, Krishna ka avatar, what's the incarnation of Krishna, is Nam Rupe. Nam Rupe. Krishna's name and Nami, the Nami, the Krishna, is not different. So actually they have no idea why are they criticizing this Hare Krishna mantra or the people who are chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu, all the Vedic knowledge which is achieved, which can be achieved, discussed by Brahmanasya Vijanita, a Brahman. Here a Brahman refers to a Vaishnava, transcendentalist. He already knows this because I am to be known by reading the Vedas. And that the famous story, I will not say that Narad Muni with cobbler and the Brahmana. We all know that. The cobbler is going to go back to Godhead, but not that Brahmana. Why? He knows the Vedas. Cobbler doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't even know how to write his name. But he is going to go back to Godhead because he knows my Lord can do anything. If he can put a big banyan tree in a small seed like this, he can put an elephant through an eye of a needle. What's it possible? He had full faith. That's what is needed. That's what's called Brahmanasya Vijanita. Okay. I'll stop here. Have you resolved the question answer thing? Can anyone speak? And I will try if I can hear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, can you hear?
Hare Krishna, Sumit Prabhu.
Can you hear, Prabhu? No?
Sorry, somehow you're sitting too far today. He's sitting 50 kilometers away. I can't hear you. Somehow Mohit Prabhu is still trying to fix. Please help him, Sumit Prabhu.
Okay, I'll call him.
They can put in chat. Okay, that's a good suggestion, and we can still try to answer. So if you can put your question in chat or comments, Mohit Prabhu can read it out to me. Okay. Let's keep moving. 247. I'm hearing myself. Okay, mute my. Now you cannot hear.
Yeah. Now you can hear. Now they will be able to hear.
You can hear from me?
Hare Krishna.
Forward, thoda.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, we can hear you, but it's not as good as it was before. So one thing that Prabhu we can do is maybe Mohit Prabhu and you can swap the laptops.
Okay, bye. Lelo. 247, probably should continue. Why? The technology will not get fixed. You got the most famous person. Do whatever. You want to stop it now? That's all. Sorry. Now, how do I see the participants? You have to give me the whole thing. Yes, please.
You have a right to describe duty, but you are not entitled to the group's direction. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the result of your activity. Never be attached to not doing your duty.
Okay, so this is one of the most famous verse. No one will know how many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita, but they will know this verse. They will quote the first 4 lines. Definitely. I also know Bhagavad Gita. What's the Bhagavad Gita? कर्म करो नहीं वो दूसरा भी नहीं बोलते फल की इच्छा ना करो कर्म करो I'm doing my gada majuri let me do my gada majuri I'm working very hard to get some money it does say that but Prabhupada first in this podcast talks about Ardha Kuput Nyaya and you know Ardha Kuput Nyaya half and logic that's what Prabhupada called in English I think what is Maharaj called that translation what is Ardha Kuput Nyaya Maharaj Prabhupada
that I don't know about that, but the other thing Prabhupada used to say was smoking half cigarettes. That a person who was diagnosed with smoking issues, so he goes to the doctor and he says that the doctor asks how many cigarettes do you smoke. So he said that I smoke around 12 cigarettes a day. So the doctor says I cannot stop him from smoking. So the doctor says okay, do one thing instead of 12 cigarettes, you smoke only 6 cigarettes. And if he does it for a week, then the doctor says, you come and see after me. What happened to the doctor passed me? He died. So now this person thinks that, okay, the best solution of actually improving the health is to smoke 6 cigarettes and he used to 10. So that's actually one of the so it's like that. You don't know the whole thing, you don't try to know the whole thing. Whatever that you know and half knowledge, you will do it. That is
okay, so Ardha Kuput Nyaya, different example. Ardha Kuput Nyaya says Kuput refers to hen. Hen means murgi. So one a person had a hen, a murgi, and he used to love the back part of the murgi. The back part will produce eggs, which he will sell in the market. He will get some money. In the front part, but the front part will take eat some grain. So he has to provide grain, that he has to spend money. So he very much liked the back part of the murgi, but not the front part. So one day he thought, what I will do, I'll cut the murgi into half, only keep the back part and let the head part go away. Because the back part is beneficial. He did that. What happens? he will not even get the egg anymore. So Prabhupada called it Ardhapuput Nyaya. Ardhapuput Nyaya means you take half-hand logic, you take half of the portion which you think is beneficial, but actually it's a whole package. You have to provide the grain, then only you will get some egg. But if you don't provide the grain or you want to cut that piece out, you will not get the egg as well. So when we talk about Bhagavad Gita, oh gee, no.
Prabhu, we can't hear your voice still. It's very muffled, at least to me. Earlier, it was very clear.
That
I
is
think
Mohit
it's all right now. I think it's all
trying,
right.
he's trying his best. Things to happen. Mohit Prabhu, revert कर दो यार, कम से कम सुन तो पा रहे थे.
No, Prabhuji, we can hear you actually. Charumataji, can't you hear?
Your voice is very clear, Prabhu. Somehow I'm not able to hear the other one. I'm just trying to change the settings here, but I don't know what
Okay,
has
maybe
happened.
Rupam Prabhu, can you hear Hemang Prabhuji?
I'll probably leave and join again.
No, I think Prabhu, I can hear, I can make out, but it's wobbling. So maybe if you can keep the speaker or the mic a bit closer to yourself. So take a table, keep the laptop on top of it, and reduce the distance between your mouth and the mic.
Or let's do one thing, Prabhuji. Sorry. Let's go back to the previous setting. We'll put all the questions on the chat and then we take it from that side. That's the easiest thing to do. Because this mic from your laptop is all good. It's just the speaker in your laptop has a problem. We had that last time also, if you remember, we had to put the mic against it, the microphone. So we'll sort it out later.
Prabhu, you can hear me right now?
You can hear
right
absolutely, absolutely fine, Prabhu.
Mohit Prabhu, just leave it. Chat. They are able to hear me. So Sumit Prabhu, you're able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear you.
I assume others can as well.
There's background noise, Prabhu.
Background noise, don't talk.
Not.
Sorry. Mic testing. Okay, let's revert back where I was. Okay, Prabhupada explains Ardhapuput. So when we take just the first line of this verse, Karmani Vadikaraste, we don't get the full benefit of this verse. So let's see what this verse says nicely, and then we'll do some comparisons. So Karmani Vadikaraste. So it's a very simple one. Adhikar, we have adhikar to do karma. Now, even if we say this line, we don't know what does it actually mean, because karma can have multiple definitions and adhikar also have multiple definitions, isn't it? Now we have different types of karma. We have karma, we have akarma, we have vikarma. So what do you mean by karma and adhikar? You say, I have a driving license, but Prabhuji, you don't tell me what sort of license do you have. Can I give you any vehicle to drive? You have license, Prabhuji, can you drive my plane? You may have a license for two-wheeler, I'm giving you a plane. So adhikar, he has a license in adhikar. So he has adhikar, but what adhikar he has? Only on a limited vehicle. Maybe a car or something you can drive. You cannot drive a truck or aeroplane or all that. So, or a bus, huh? So you can drive a four-wheeler, a simple four-wheeler, because adhikar only allows you to drive that vehicle. So our karma is also like that. We have a prescribed duty to perform, which we can do, but do we know a prescribed duty? People drinking alcohol and eating meat and what not, and talking about, karma. What karma we are talking about? So first, we don't know about karma, we don't know about adhikara, but let's take it very simply. You have right to do karma. Let's take it simplistically. Karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu. Charumataji does not look very happy. I don't know whether she can even hear me. Sumit Prabhu, you can hear?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear you.
Okay. Maybe you're the only one. Local issue? Restart the laptop.
We can hear you, Prabhu.
Okay. Prakash, two people.
Another one, Prabhu.
Okay, let's carry on. Karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. Can you put on the screen? So ma phaleshu kadachan. Ma means ma. Ma means what? Without reading, we didn't know this verse. See, people get lost. Ma means ma. Na. Ma means na. Ma means na. What's the example? 1866. What's the example? 1866. सर्वधर्मानु परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणं व्रज अहम त्वं सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः मा शुचः मा शुचः means डरो मत, do not be afraid, do not be fearful. So ma phaleshu kadachan, but so you have a right to perform your duty, but you don't have right, the word used here is right, to get the phala. Here right means I demand it. So you cannot demand the karma. You can think about karma, but you cannot demand the karma, because many times we demand. Itna kaam, you have worked so hard, I don't even get this much. Don't you think I deserve this much? That means you are demanding for it. One example we can take from Srimad Bhagavatam, when Putana came to kill Krishna, what gati Putana got? Bhakti gati. She became a nurse, like mother of Krishna in the spiritual world. Now she came and gave what to Krishna? Poison. No, Prabhu, I offer milk every day to Krishna. So at the end of the life, if I go to hell, I demand to Krishna, Putana ko, you gave gati to Putana as your mother, and I gave milk whole life, you're not giving me even, Sargloka. Our mentality is demanding mentality. So the demanding mentality is condemned to this person. Not that we cannot think about the karma, because if we don't think about the karma, Mohit Prabhu is cooking, Janmashtami feast, and he does not think about karma. Food becomes half fried, no fried. Chawal are all uncooked. Will you be nice cook? Will you be considered a nice cook or nice devotee? Sab chalta hai. Everything is fine. Ma phaleshu kadachan. No, it's not like that. But you cannot be demanding for the karma. That's what it means. That's what it means. You concentrate, you focus on your karma, on your prescribed duty. Another example, if I am appearing for an exam, for example, I'm constantly thinking about how much marks I'm going to get, how much marks I'm going to get. Will I get 99%? Will I get 98%? Now my focus instead of studying goes in what? In getting how much marks. Will I be very productive in my study during that time? Because my focus is where? In the marks. Now, as everyone's focus is on laptop, no one is focusing on the verse because we are all looking at the laptop. I think, Prabhu, next time, if we are not ready, don't do it. Put a phone next to me. Because, it's just losing concentration of 30 people. It's not worth it. Rather, have 15 people who have been focused. हो गया अभी आपको टेस्ट नहीं किया है प्रोडक्शन में डाल दिया without testing. Okay. You understand the meaning? So it's not like we should not think about. We always have to think. You're coming to temple. We have to think which route I have to take. Which route I have to take, which is shorter, which is cheaper, which takes less time, and all those things. We think about a housewife cooking some nice bhoga. She will think about how can I make a nice sabji, nice gulab jamun, and all that. Unless she thinks or he thinks like that, they will not do the things properly. But can they demand? My sabji should be so good that everyone appreciate. Oh, never ate and sabji like you made. So now you are jumping on what? Or if someone does not appreciate, for example, किसी ने appreciate ही नहीं किया. No one is appreciating me today. So your focus is on what? Karma phala. Krishna will talk about who thinks about karma phala in the next verse. We'll come to it. Let's do the next two lines as well. It's still in 247. Little bit more of this. Okay, what's the third line? Someone can read. Ma karma phal hetu bhu. Okay. Now we are okay. Ma karma phal hetu bhu. So ma karma phal. So ma karma phal hetu bhu. Do not think I am the producer of karma. You only become into demanding attitude because you think I am the producer of karma. Now who have done Sastri earlier, they would know. To produce karma, how many things are required? 5 things are required. 5 things are required. Suppose I gave you a sabji making, for example, I remember in your place. So if you have to make sabji, what all things you need, Mataji? You need a kitchen, right? You need a kitchen. Unless you have a kitchen, you may be a great cook. Can you cook sabji? Kitchen hi nahi hai. Suppose you have a kitchen, you don't have a gas. Prabhuji, gas kidhar hai? Kitchen de diya, gas bhi dena na. You have to give me a gas or some equipment to cook. Now I'm a great chef, but I don't have a equipment. How can I cook? Now I have given you kitchen, I have given you gas, but I don't give you sabji to cook. Mataji will be happy. Kanika Mataji, "Arey Prabhuji, sabji kidhar hai? Kidhar se banao, huh? What sabji do you need? Whatever sabji, bhindi or karela, whatever you make. You have sabji, you have kitchen, you don't have any equipments to cook on. Pot nahi hai. But I give you a little bowl to cook on for 50 people. You can't cook. Suppose you have done everything. You have kitchen, you have sabji, you have equipment pots, and you have yourself as well. Can you guarantee the sabji will be best today? Anyone? Can you guarantee that today sabji will come the best bhindi ka sabji? There are some other factors which are out of your control. Huh? You are just a part in the science. Huh? So play your part. When I have all these facilities given by Krishna, I do my best and I try to produce the best result. Can I guarantee for the best result? No one can guarantee anything. Huh? They said, Ma karm phal hetu. So do not think I am the producer of the karm phala, because you are a part. Huh? You can think about karmaphala, you can work for karmaphala. Do not demand and do not think I am. Because I have done hard work, I must get the result. Well, you are only 20% in the game, isn't it? So the probability of you getting the karmaphala is only 20%. There's another 80%. Example given by Chaitanya Prabhu many times. A kisan, a farmer, he sows the seed. The rain comes or rain does not come. Can he control the rain? But what he can control, he should do this. He should sow the seed. You should plow the field and sow the seed. Then what happens? Krishna says, but if I don't do my duty and the rain comes, will he get the grain? I haven't sown the seed. The rain has come, Krishna has held, but I haven't done my duty. Will the phala will come? The grain will come? No. So what I have to do my duty, do my job, and then Radha Prabhu says, no, you do your best, leave the rest. Prabhu has corrected me last time. That's fine. No. I love this. So we do the part in the whole series, and then Ma Kaleshu Kadachan, Ma Karam Phal Hetu. So now you can say, Phal to milna nahi hai. I'm not going to get phala. I'm not the producer of the phala. Let me not do karma at all. So Krishna says, Mate Sangos Akarmani. Here, Akarmani, take it very simple meaning. Akarmani also can have multiple meanings. Akarmani, Akarma, not doing karma, not doing your duty. So Sangha refers to attachment. Don't be attached to not doing your karma. You should do it. So these verses, very, very effective verse actually. It's a very packed verse, very, very packed verse, because and if you read all these 4 lines, actually they make sense. And if you just take the first line, karma, 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 first we don't know karma, what is adhikar, but even if you take karma adhikar, okay, you do your duty as per your varna and ashrama, but can you be demanding for the result? You can't be demanding. You can expect in your mind, and without result, will not do the activity itself. You are doing a vyavasaya, you are doing some sort of business. Obviously, the profit is there in the mind, but we cannot demand for it. Sometimes things will go wrong out of unexpected. You may lose some money, you may lose something, but that's what happens in the game. Sometimes we get a lot of money. Sometimes we study, we get less marks. Sometimes we don't study, we get great marks. Sometimes we don't do any help in the temple. People come, Prabhu, thank you so much for your help. And you feel like, oh, I haven't done anything. It happens or no? It happens. Believe me or not. No? Sometimes you work so hard, no one come and ask you, Mataji, have you taken prashadam? No one asked that. Lord Maharaj was saying one day in his class that someday you get invitation from 10 houses to eat. Everyone will invite you, 13th is Purnima, please come to my house. Then sometimes you don't get any invitation. No one even comes to ask you, Maharaj, have you taken prashadam? Maharaj was saying this. He's a sannyasi and he's making a statement. So who are we? If someone doesn't care about us, it's all right. It's all right. Why are we expecting? Devakinanda Prabhu says, from the expectation, frustration will come. The higher the expectation, the higher the frustration. If you have less expectation, you're not frustrated. If people walking on the street abuse you, you will not care so much. If someone which you love, says something or does something against your desire, you get very disturbed. Why? We are attached to that person. So our attachment brings frustration. So this verse is really very nice. So do not be attached to not doing your duty. Do your duty. You have adhikar, but do not be demanding on the karmaphala, and do not think I am the producer of Prakriti. Pratyaya kriyamani gunaihi karmani sarusha. Ahankar vimunatma karta aham iti manyate. So Prakriti is doing. One speaker was saying only Atma only can desire. Atma cannot do desire. And Prakriti facilitates if you desire. Yes, Mata. No.
From that time when Nityananda was explaining that also message, he's a great soul. And he was mentioning in that message that he has got some projects which he needs to finish. So he knows what are his responsibilities with Prabhupada and everything. But as like a normal human being, I do not know what my responsibility is. Every day I'm getting up to cooking, chanting, once in a while I visit temple, whatever service.
Yeah.
How do I know what my responsibility is?
Yeah, very nice question. How do I know what my prescribed duty is? Because we are all different people. Someone is male, someone is female, someone is housewife, working, someone mother, someone father. How do I know what my prescribed duty is? And this is a question actually for everyone. Now, what you are talking can be taken in two levels. One is what's the prescribed duty of my body, what's the prescribed duty of soul. My Guru Maharaj actually gave this answer very nicely in a class. He said prescribed duty, actually he actually gave more detailed answer. I'll put in short. So the prescribed duty for the soul, we all know. What is Swadharma for the soul, which is Bhagavad Dharma, that we should become dear to Krishna as soon as possible. If not right now, as soon as possible. That's the dharma of the soul. Now, what's the duty of your body, for example? And that's also valid, and you should perform your body duties as well. So that we know from two sources. One general source, Nirmala said, is Shastra. Shastra tells us to all of us, we have Varna and Ashrama. Based on your Varna and Ashrama, you will have some specific duties, which is given in Shastra. Now, Prabhu, I don't know too much Shastra, isn't it? That's what our problem is. That's why we need to. That's why we need to. A Guru, again, 3 levels. 2, you can take Siksha Guru and your Diksha Guru. Your Diksha Guru can also be your Siksha Guru, or Siksha Guru can also be different. Many times, for all practical reasons, they are different. So Diksha Guru will give you some specific instruction, a goal you can say, a vision you can say, and Siksha Guru will guide you through how to achieve that goal. And again, you have many Siksha Gurus. It's not 1 or 2. One soul is held by so many souls in the journey. And they all are Siksha Gurus. Like Kabutar, a pigeon can be our Guru, Agni can be our Guru, Akash can be our Guru. So many Sikshas needs to be taken. And if we have that mentality that I am on a receiving end, you will receive. If you have a mentality that I am on a giving end, you will not receive much. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm thinking, I'm great, I know a lot. What this new people is going to tell me? No, new people can tell me. If I'm wrong, new people can tell me. Guru Maharaj gives an example in Amsterdam temple opening ceremony. It was the first temple in Holland. So the temple was opening. The TV also came, the camera, the national TV cameras came. There were so many reporters there. And on that day, devotees did everything wrong too. Like Prabhupada expected some fruits in the yajna ceremony. You probably heard that past time. And there was no fruits. So Prabhupada said, where are the fruits? So one Mataji went to the kitchen and then she did not come back for a while. So Prabhupada says, food still not here. So one devotee left in the same kitchen. He also did not return. Third person went and he came back. They all 3 came back with a bowl of cut fruits. They did not know that for yajna we need like a solid fruits. And then they went to the altar. The altar was made with lot of love. So what happened out of love? So the deities were say, whatever, this big. All the deities were this big. So altar was supposed to be that big. But what happened? The deity person later on changed his mind. He got bigger deities. We'll have bigger deities in the temple. But he forgot to tell the person who was making the table of the altar, the deities are bigger. So actually the whole altar collapsed right in front of the camera. And Prabhupada was very angry. So one new person, very new person, he had just joined the temple. And he said, Prabhupada, why are you angry? Why don't you chant Hare Krishna? Prabhupada took up his feet and started chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada could have very well said, I am the guru of the whole worldwide movement. You telling me what to do? No. Prabhupada said, yeah, he's right. So we can take good siksha, good lessons from anyone and everyone. Chanakya said you can pick up a kamal, a lotus, even from a punk, from a teacher. It's a kamal you can pick. If someone someone beats you with a gold coin, will you take it? Why not? Few more, please. It's gold coin. So if someone is throwing you, like saying some bad word, it's a good siksha, you should take it because you are wise. A wise person takes it. Okay? That's it. Rupam Prabhu has a question. Maybe you can read it out to me.
Yes, so Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Prabhu, you spoke about 5 things that are required for karma phala. Can you repeat that again?
Okay, we'll read that in 18th chapter 2. So we need a sthan, we need equipments. I forgot the Sanskrit term, Prabhuji. We need buddhi for that. Buddhi means the person who's going to put the sabji. And what are the other elements of buddhi? Time. There are 5 things, Prabhuji, given in a verse in 18th chapter. I can find it. So, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Madhuri Mataji, she knows by heart. Okay. Charu Mataji, sorry it took long, but now thanks to Mohit Prabhu and other tech support team, they have resolved the issue. If you like to please add something or.
I did have a doubt, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I did have a doubt, but I think through all these verses, some of my points have been clarified. All I wanted to ask was, it's the verse spoke about one-pointed intelligence, and as devotees, I think it applies to us in a different ways, or as aspiring devotees, it applies to us in a different way as well, that we don't get, we don't get our intelligence branched into many different other paths. For instance, if we are just following Krishna consciousness, then it has to be by reading only Prabhupada's books and not get diverted by reading some other kind of literature that puts us into a different mindset. So as much as it is about not being material or not trying to see if a particular action leads me towards Krishna or away from Krishna, in material sense, also in this realm, it also means that whether I'm reading a particular book, is it making my focus more towards Krishna, or is it giving me different directions to think and taking me away from Krishna? So I was just going to ask you about that, but the few verses about Vedas kind of clarified.
Thank you. It's a very, very nice point. Even Krishna consciousness.
We can't hear you again, Prabhu. When you just go back, I think it's hard to hear you.
I didn't touch my laptop. No one can hear me now? Can Mataji now?
Yes, Prabhu, now it's okay, but if you can come closer to the laptop, that helps.
Laptop is right on me, actually. I can't come more closer.
Yeah,
I'll break the laptop and Mohit will break me then. This is laptop.
It's clear, Prabhu, it's clear. Okay, we can understand.
Okay.
Yes.
Vinay Prabhu is driving, but still he can. He has a
It's
transcendental ears. Okay. Where we were. Anyway, so Charu Mataji said very, very nice thing. It's a very good point for all the aspiring devotees. And one example which Mataji was saying, many times we go to ISKCON, we go to this sanstha, that organization, let's take this from there, this from there. That is also within devotional realm, it's called Bahushaka. Bahushaka, multi-branch. Sometime when I'm in trouble, I go to Swami Narayan. When I'm not in trouble, then I go to Hare Krishna temple. One time I have my Kanti Mala, another time I don't have my Kanti Mala, depending on the situation. One Maharaj was saying there are 4 types of devotees. One is Asli devotee, Pakka devotee. Asli means all the time he is a devotee. It's not like you open his house at 8 p.m. is not a devotee. 8 p.m., 8 a.m., 9 p.m. every time he's a devotee, Asli devotee. One is a Nakli devotee. Nakli means fake devotee. Fake devotee means when it's needed, he will become a devotee. Otherwise, it's not. One is no, actually, Nakli is one who shows he's a devotee, is not a devotee. He shows. Say, hey, sab bekar ki baat hai, it's all rubbish, but you know, I can show. If I can gain some respect out of showing as a devotee, why not? And many times, believe or not, we are all in that category. No? Some is fasali devotee. Fasali, you know, fasal comes on a particular season. So sometimes when he's in trouble, he becomes a devotee. Otherwise, he's not a devotee. And a fourth is dakhali. Dakhali means neither he does his devotion nor he will let you do your devotion. So asli, nakali, fasli, or dakhali. There are 4 types of devotees. Which category we are in? We should be in asli category. Asli means 100% khara sona, pure gold. Everyone loves pure gold, Mataji. Kacha sona? No? Pure gold? No, Mataji, he is a devotee. Huh? Not allowed. Okay. Oh, Krishna. That's why we're in the word of duality. Can't make it. Dvanda. This is called Dvanda. In Swargloka, I've heard in a lecture, actually, I've never been there, at least in my knowledge. There's a pure gold there. And their gold is much more higher, better gold than the earthly gold. Pure sona. Talking about khara sona. You want khara sona, go to Swargloka. What is this rubbish 24 karat? And that also I don't know. It has to be mixed up. Anyway, everything is mixed up in the material world. What can we say? Nothing is asli. Sab nakli male. So 4 types of devotee. Please categorize yourself. Don't have to tell other person. But, huh? Weekend devotee. That's fasali. Fasali. Become a devotee on the weekend with Talak Kanti, get a free food in Hare Krishna temple and go home. Anyway, let's move on. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So Rupa Prabhu has already found out 13 and 14. So 18, 13 and 14 tells what are the 5 elements which are required to be to give the result of the karma or action. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Rupa Prabhu. So quick. Huh? Thank you. Yes, Mother.
So here we have to identify so we should be able to discriminate, like when to go ahead because it is your spiritual partner. Even that is very difficult, right? How Mataji has asked.
Yes, that's why we need mercy of a pure devotee. Like here, we can say at least for this assembly, we are under the shelter of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is our first guru. Huh? No matter you are initiated or not initiated, this Maharaj, we are all under Prabhupada. He is our first spiritual master. Then he is represented by other spiritual masters, which are his pure followers. So yes, in this assembly, we can say we have been given a pure guru. Huh? And I think in this assembly, again, I can say all of us also have a pure goal. Our goal is not impure. Yeah, at this stage, we have impure desire. We have mixed desire. Sometimes we want Bhoga and Aishwarya as well with devotion. But on the way, by the mercy of Prabhupada and the guidance of his pure followers, our those desires will also be purified. It's just a matter of time when we will become pure devotees. But eventually, it says, whoever come in the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, represented by Prabhupada, he will go back to Godhead. So, as per the prediction, all of us are going to go back to Godhead. I'm not predicting it. I've heard in lectures, I'm just repeating the same thing. It's very big, but it's said we will all go back to Godhead.
Prabhupada says that, even some devotee is not very serious, but since he is in the movement and he is with the devotees, he will be corrected by the devotees or by the Lord within or someone. So eventually he will be corrected. It's there. I don't remember. But yeah, it's there.
So eventually, but again, it's just a matter of time. Prabhupada said today or after 10,000 times. So just a matter of time. How much? So Prabhupada said, and other devotees also say, better we get out today or tomorrow. Don't delay. What's the point? You're just wasting your time. Huh? Mama is saying, Mama, Papa, come to India, come to my. No, Mama, I'm enjoying Singapore. Okay, I'm enjoying Malaysia. I'm enjoying in Thailand. Eating junk food in hotels, some chips and Coca-Cola. Come home. You got the best food. Krishna is saying, come home. Don't waste time in Sydney and this and that. What is the big deal here? Except 180 Falcon Estate. What's the great attraction in Sydney? Tell me. What's the great thing about it? You can have great so-called, multiple properties. It doesn't satisfy the heart. It doesn't. When you come here and chop vegetables, you wash dishes, really feel satisfied. You see Radha Gopinath in the Mangala Aarti, feel satisfied. You don't want anything else. You just want to stay and watch and just hear nice kirtan. That's all. It satisfies us. We have experienced that in droplets, but we have experienced that. We just have to increase that and put not this life to end, but do as much as needed and just move on. Okay, let's move on our verses. 48.
Just continuing with the what is prescribed duty? You actually answered that prescribed duty is based on the body. Second thing is prescribed duty is the soul. This is Swadharma or Dharma. So one has to become a pure devotee of Krishna. This is Swadharma, not the body. But then you went on to say there are two sources of understanding the prescribed duty based on the body. One was the Shastra.
Guru. Shastra. So Shastra will give you general knowledge, Guru will give you specific knowledge. You are a money earner, sole money earner in the house. What's your duty? Said, oh, should I go to Vrindavan and live there, or should I look after my 3 kids and family here? Maharaj may say you go to Vrindavan. Maharaj may say, no, you work here and you earn money, you look after your family, and then later we'll talk about you going to Vrindavan. You say like that. Many disciples, Prabhupada gave sannyas. Many disciples, Prabhupada said, you go and get married. Prabhupada, same spiritual master. Now, is he not giving mercy to the disciples who he is asking to get married? No. Prabhupada loves all the disciples equally, but he knows the nature of the disciple. As per their nature, he is giving instruction. So Shastra gives both, Brahmachari or say Grahastha Marg. Prabhupada said, no, you get married, you take sannyas. So Guru will give that specific
understanding the prescribed duty as in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight as a warrior.
Yes.
So how does it actually fit in?
Guru giving the personal guidance. Guru Krishna is a Guru.
When we are talking about Arjuna as a warrior, we are talking about Arjuna as a warrior.
Yes.
Arjuna's problem was that he was a warrior, he did not want to fight.
Yes.
Right? So how does actually, when we say, if we divide the prescribed duty in these two formats, where does it fit for a warrior? So that means, for example, if the person has got a specific job, right?
Yep.
Based on that occupation, how does it fit in a prescribed duty? That's what I'm trying to say. So this is a job that a person is doing is a part of a prescribed duty, or prescribed duty different from the job that you do.
It can be, it may not be. Suppose you are killing animals and you are thinking, I'm doing my job, so it's not a part of prescribed duty. But if you're honestly working and looking after your family, it is a part of your prescribed duty. Now, should you continue, should you discontinue, increase or decrease? Your Guru will answer those questions because that's specific. Okay, 48.
Sorry.
Okay. Nothing to interrupt.
Yogastaha Purnamani Sangam Prapadanandaya Samadha Yoga Uchyate.
Finding all attraction to success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga.
Yeah, so 47 verse where we have learned you have adhikar to do your karma, but do not be demanding of the karma phala, do not be attached to not doing the activity. Then Krishna is just again carrying on the yoga sthankuru karmani sangam tyakva dhananjaya siddhaya siddhayo samudhutva samatvam yoga uchate. You be situated in yoga. So Arjuna is asking, how should I do that? How should I do 247? Krishna said, here is the way you should do 247. What is the way? Yoga staha. Yoga staha. Staha means sthiti. Sthiti means to be situated in what? Yoga. You should be situated in yoga. Yoga means connection. Yoga is not bodily exercise, which Krishna is talking, it is here. So it is a part, bodily exercise is a part, but yoga. You be situated. Kuru karmani. So you do your karma in what situation? Being situated in yoga. Sangam tyaktva. Sangam refers to attachment. Tyaktva. You give up the attachment. Dhananjaya. So Dhananjaya is also important. Dhananjaya, you have done a lot of dhana, arjan, you have accumulated a lot of wealth, but now you give up. What is you have to give up? Sangam, the attachment to the foods. You give it up. Now, while we are doing the activity, two things can happen. For example, siddhaya, asiddhaya. Siddhi means you get the perfection. So you make a sabji and sabji comes out very nice. And sometimes it may happen, asiddhaya. You make a sabji, sabji doesn't come out nice, isn't it? And someone else will tell you in a nice way, hopefully. So siddhaya, asiddhayo, samabhutva. What you should become? Samabhutva. Because while performing your duties, Sometimes, accidentally, knowingly, unknowingly, you will fail. You will fail. Your intention was very nice, but the action which you have performed, we talked about, you remember, our intention, our action, and others' perception. We talk about these three levels. So others will only see your action. They will not see your motivation. So although your motivation was good, but the action, banaya kuch, ban gaya kuch. Gaurgopal Prabhu says, no, when wife says to Prabhuji, today we'll make samosas in lunch. So what does Prabhu say? This Mataji's Prabhu says, first you cook, we'll do name-giving ceremony later. Whether it's samosa or aloo, we need a hathoda to break the samosa and all that. Siddhaye asiddhayo samabhuta. But Mataji should be samabhuta. It's all right. It applies for both actually. Siddhaye asiddhayo samabhuta. Samatvam yog vichute. If you are able to do that, where you are situated, samatvam yog, which you are being situated in yoga. So what it refers to in a general day-to-day life, are we impacted by our siddhi and asiddhi? Yes, we are. When a siddhi comes, when a good phal comes, we become very proud. When someone praises us, you have done such a wonderful service. Thank you. If someone criticizes you, do you like it? I don't. I'm sure others as well. So that means we are not situated in yoga. What does it mean in a simple language? We are not situated in Krishna consciousness. I should call it fixed Krishna consciousness. That's why these siddhi and asiddhis are impacting us. Otherwise, you look at Maharaj, any Maharaj, for example, someone praises them or someone abuses them. On a mental level, I'm talking. Externally, everyone says, oh, it's all right, it's all right. Andar se bahut jalta hai, it hurts a lot inside. So, but they are mental, on their mental level, they are not impacted. If this person is not praising me, this person, oh, Maharaj, you are like Krishna. And this person may not be, say, right first. Maharaj, he's fine. He's not like favoring too much to this disciple and not favoring this disciple. They are not on that level, but we are on that level. That means we are not situated on yoga, a fixed yoga. So perform your duty with an equipoised mindset. Equipoised mindset. Abandoning all the attachment. Attachment to what? To success or failure. Sabji achhi ki sabji buri. But I should try my best. But what will come out? The praises will come out or dispraises will come out. Abandon all the attachment. Such equanimity is called. It's very nice practical verse actually. Okay, let's move to the next one, 49. Buddhi yoga
should all abominable activities are distinct by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender to the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers.
So I'll just say the last line first. Very nice. Krapanaha. So we have krapan. Krapan means miser. So who are the miser? Not that they don't spend money. This is not the definition as per Krapana is. Who is Krapana? Phal hetva. Who is working for phala. I should get a lot of money, so I should work very, very hard. If I'm working, say, 12 hours, I'm earning 100,000. If I work 16 hours, I'll be earning 200,000. So as per Bhagavad Gita, you're earning more money, but Bhagavad Gita calling you Kripana. You're working for phala. What you should work for as a devotee, we can easily say, is the pleasure of the Lord. If our Guru is pleased and I am displeased, for example, is that activity good or bad? Good. My Guru is pleased. My body is uncomfortable while performing the seva, but my Guru is pleased. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj gave a very nice example. I heard a lecture. Maharaj said that in the lecture. So Maharaj was young at that time and he was preaching in Bangladesh. And that time devotees didn't have any facility. There was no money practically speaking. So Maharaj was traveling in a bus from A to B, somewhere in Bangladesh. So Maharaj was telling in that bus there was no seats, practically no seats except one seat. Which seat? Driver seat. The driver cannot stand. There was practically one seat in the bus. The rest of the seat was no seat. And his co-passengers were not humans. His co-passengers were, it says, Memna, what do you call lambs and bakri, goats and lambs. Now his body is taken birth in UK, so he's from a big family. So he explained in the lecture. He thought for a moment, what I'm doing here. Makes sense? Why not? You know, his thoughts were valid thoughts. Like I'm traveling in a bus who doesn't have any seat, comes from UK. You can imagine, huh? They're pretty well in buses. We are also. So the co-passengers there, hopefully you'll find humans. Next, a dog, I think. So his co-passengers were goats and lambs, no seats, bus, bumpy bus. And yeah, he also said there was no windows, no window glasses. So the cold breeze is coming inside. And he said, I thought for a moment, now this lecture he gave probably 15 years ago, but this incident we're talking probably 40 years ago or something. It was very in that time. What I'm doing here, should I be doing this? So he said, I thought about it. But then instantly the thought came into my mind, this thought, instantly another thought came. But if I do this, Prabhupada will be pleased. So I kept traveling on the same bus and I kept doing that even later. You understand the point? The bodily was very uncomfortable. Mentally also, he had a doubt. He had a question, right? Am I doing the right thing or no? Valid question, valid point. Who would us want to go to India in these sort of situations and live there? Prabhu, our devotion in Sydney is better. At least we have a good house, we have a car, we can turn on the heater sometime. Huh? We don't want, we don't have that surrender. But Maharaj said, but instantly I thought, Prabhupada will be pleased. I'm preaching here, I'm assisting in preaching of Krishna consciousness movement. Prabhupada will be pleased with my service. I kept on. That's called surrender. That's called surrender. So, kapanaha phala hetuvaha. So, if you are thinking about phala in gross terms, actually we are called kapana. So, we should not become kapana. And what's the opposite of kapana? A brahmana. Brahman means who works not for the bodily comfort or for just the mental satisfaction of their job, who works for the pleasure of the Lord, who works for a higher purpose. Getting up early in the morning, 5 a.m., taking bath in cold water. Who likes it? Even in the summer season, we don't like it. In summer season also, we like some warm water. But Brahman does it. For what purpose? For a higher. Bodily is discomforted. Mentally also is difficult. For us even to get out of the bed and go into the bath is difficult. If you are going for Mangala Aarti. Forget about if someone tells you, Mataji, Prabhuji, you have to take cold shower before you come to Mangala Aarti. Prabhuji, thank you so much. We'll see you in next Janma. So if someone tells you about the cold shower, we'll never probably be able to go to Mangala Aarti. But you say, okay, you take warm shower and come to Mangala Aarti. That also is very difficult. In the car also, heater kidhar hai, as soon as you sit. So much comfort we need. Then also it's difficult for us to perform devotion. It's difficult. But that's not the mindset a devotee is looking forward to. It's not you should disrupt your body. That's not what it said. But even if the body is uncomfortable, mind is uncomfortable, if you are working for a higher purpose, keep it up. Keep it up. That's what it said. If you get nice prasada, very good. No problem with that. If you don't get prasada, all right, Krishna wants me to fast today. We should be ready for that. We should not be disturbed. That's what it says. Duren hi avaram karma. Avaram karma. So var and avar. Var means auspicious. We have var and vadhu. Var is called Vardhan. We have Vardhan. Auspicious. Good boons. So avaram karma. So abominable act. Duren. You stay away. How will you stay away from that? Buddhi yoga. If you are engaged in Buddhi yoga, here Prabhupada writes as devotional service, then you will stay away. And that's very nice. If you are working for Krishna, your mind is pretty much engaged in the nice devotional acts. Then you will not want to watch this movie, that movie, go here, go there. What is there? We have seen it all. Let's go to temple, do something nice. Let's read Shastra. Let's listen to this lecture. Let's cook something nice for Krishna. Let's invite Vaishnavas. We'll do some service to Vaishnavas. So how can we Buddhi yoga? If you use your Buddhi for yoga, so for translate as devotional service. So keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. Suppose there is no devotional service in the life, will people do abominable activities? Yes. At home, what do? Open the TV, look in the Domino's pizza, where's the great deal $5 pizza? They're just looking for the deals. That's all they are doing. How can I earn more money? Which property I can invest to get more benefit? Is that their whole mindset of it's not that. For our mindset, we don't have time. Not that we don't want, but no time. That's good because we are engaged with Krishna. And in that context, Buddha Sharanam Aniviccha, surrender. With that mindset, you're not just working blindly. Lord, you please take care of me. I'm very weak. I'm very fallen. I have so much condemnation in my heart. Surrender to the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So we should not become Kripana, we should become a Brahman. Now start the journey with Kripana, that's all right. I'll get some phala, you have some neophyte devotee, you encourage them, isn't it? Oh, wonderful service. Wonderful service. You should do, not saying. But they feel good actually. And that's all right. Many people encourage us, otherwise we'll not be sitting here. They said, Prabhuji, you have done nice service, not a nice service. And then initially we felt good, yeah, he recognized me, he's acknowledging me. It's nice. If no one acknowledges me, will I be able to perform the service nicely? I won't. I'll get discouraged. No one. It's all right. So no one bothers about me. No one is looking at my services. So I should do something which I will show to the world. The initial acknowledgement is all right. And later on, we're still looking for acknowledgements and recipients. Okay. Someone had something? You must say.
That even if we say we are fallen, we are still talking about it.
Yes, right. So, yeah. So it's also a type of false ego. You're still concentrating on yourself. So instead of, as again, I'll repeat the same definition, humility. Do not talk too much about yourself.
But if you're comparing yourself to someone, you're saying, compared to that devotee, you are much fallen. Compared to that devotee, you're not. You're praising that person. And how
instead of even saying that I'm fallen, just praise that person. He's very great. So again, don't get too much negatives. This devotee is working very nicely. I should also work. Maybe a part of it. I can't work like him or her. So I can do some nice services. I'm only doing say one seva. They are doing 10 seva. Maybe I can do 2 seva. It's so nice. And then you go and take blessings. That means you're appreciating, you're accepting. When you say I am lower, you talk about negative, then maybe the competitive mentality comes. That's not very important. You praise it again from your heart. It's not. You say from you, that's also buttering, false ego. Yeah. No, most nothing. That's true. Because most means I am the greatest. And we don't mean it, to be very honest. Just showing off how humble I am. Left, right, center. Very nice. Okay, let's move forward. Do a few more verses.
Buddhi yukto jahati ha. Ubhe sukrita dushrute. Tasmad yogaya yuchasva. Yoga karma so kaushalam. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions given in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work.
So Krishna is glorifying the benefits, you can say, of engaged in devotional service. Buddhi yukta. So if you are buddhi yukta, again intelligence, you're involved in devotional service. Jahatiha. So here the word jahati, you see the synonyms here. Jahati can get rid of iha is in this life. This is very important. So if you are engaged in devotional service in this life, what you will get rid of? Ubhe means both, two parties. Sukrat dushkriti. Namam dushkritino mudha. Sukrati nivan and dushkrati nivan. So ubhe, both parties, whatever you've done, pious and impious activity, both you can get rid of when in this life itself. You don't have to die and reach somewhere. Devotional service is so powerful, so powerful. Krishna says, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. I think we gave the example of Ganga and Jamuna somewhere. I'm not sure in this class, huh? Jamuna ji. So, ubhe sukra dushkate tasmad. Therefore, yogaya yujjasva. So, yoga, be situated in yoga. Because yoga karma su kaushal, the art of kaushal. Kaushal refers to, someone is very kushal, expert. Someone is very expert in karma. Which person you call as expert? Who can cook, nice sweets or sing nice kirtan? So what is the perfection of the karma? To become kaushal, to become expert, right? Someone say, what is nice, but not so nice. That one is very expert. You like expert cooking? Everyone like expert cooking. Expert singing, expert DT worship, expert class giving, intellectuals. Everyone likes being expert. How can you become expert? Krishna said, Tasmad yoga is just as if you're situated in yoga, karma supposam, that is a perfection of expertise. Understand? So if you do action in Krishna consciousness, that is a perfection. Otherwise, if you take Krishna out, I am a big billionaire, 0. I'm a big artist, 0. I'm a big speaker, 0. I'm a big cook, 0. Then you add 1. Then you add 1 in front of all. I'm a big rich person and a devotee of Krishna. Very nice. I'm a big cook, cooking for deities. Very nice. I'm a big speaker for Krishna. Very nice. Putting 1. So karma supposam. If you want to become perfection of that karma, what you should become? Tasmad yoga is become situated in yoga. This is also very nice. Right? So you want to become perfect, actually become a devotee. Devotee is perfect. Other perfect, so-called perfections, they are not perfect actually. Even if they are perfectionists, after their death, finished. You go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and after 10, back to normal. You Sastri, it's like a letter. You go to 99, a sap bites, you come down to number 4 or 5 somewhere. That's what happens to all of us. I saw a video yesterday only in a lecture. I'll try to get it. It's very nice. So a man in India is asking dog 2. He says wow wow. He says 3. Wow wow wow. 7, 8. Every number the man says within 10. The dog barks that many times. You saw that? It's very nice. It's a very short clip. And then the man says, what is 5 minus 2? He says, wow, 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 3. What is 5 plus 2? 7 times. Wow, 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 7 times. Huh? So the speaker was saying some mathematicians have become a dog. He was perfect in mathematics. Huh? You can see the remnants is still there. But what he can do? Wow, 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 wow. So that's a perfection of material world. Yeah, I'm telling you. But karma sukoshalam here refers to yoga karma sukoshalam. You will be situated in yoga. Then your karma becomes kushal, perfect, expert. So Prabhupada says, therefore, strive for yoga. Don't try to become perfections without Krishna, which is the art of all the work. He said he's the artist. Artist is beautiful. He knows what he's doing, what he's presenting. He knows how to pass the emotion, how to pass the message. Art of work is being devotee of Krishna. And that makes perfect sense. Krishna can give you that intelligence by which you can do so much. Prabhupada said, I never expected this much success. Huh? I never expected, he said that. I never expected this much success. I don't belong. I don't deserve this much. Huh? I'm not so scholarly. He said, my God brothers are more scholarly than me. But Krishna gave me success. Why? Because I become the completely transparent biomedia for passing the message of intelligence. I did not take any credit. I did not change anything. I presented the message as it is. Yoga comes for some. His karma became kaushal. Why? Because he was situated in yoga. Okay, next one. 51. We'll take one from internet. Rupam Prabhu is topmost. You can hear me?
Yes, bro.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Karmajam buddhi yukta hi palang tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchanti anamayam. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries by going back to Godhead.
Thank you, Prabhu. So 51 and 52, all these verses are glorifying the glories of devotion. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi. So karmajam, ja is janma. So the karma which is born in buddhi, you understand? So buddhi here refers to bhakti yoga. Huh? So the karma, the activity which are born in devotion, palam tyaktva manishanaha. We have Manish Prabhu here, not in this class, but in the community is nice. So what does Manishi mean? Manaha Isha. Isha means controller of mind. Are we Manisha? No. We are not Manishi. We are Manishi. I am not. Huh? We are under the control of our mind. Can we control the mind? So Manish means who can control the mind. Huh? So Tyakta Manishanaha. So who is able to abandon or who should abandon? Manishanaha. So if you are Manishanaha, you are able to control your mind. Tyakta, you should abandon the fruits of your activities. I said, without fruits of activities, why will I work? Isn't it? That's what we work for. Paisa chahiye, isliye to kaam karte hain. We need money. That's what we want. We need house, we need facilities, this and that. But that's what Krishna has already negated into 47, right? But if you are intelligent, Manishi, phalam tyaktva. Phalam here refers to karma phala. Tyaktva, you should give up. So if you are not giving up phala, who are you? Kripanaha phalahetvaha. Previous verse, Kripana, you are Kripana. Again, Kripana or Manishana. Which one you want to become? You can contrast these two words. Krishna is saying, phalam tyakta manishana. And what is the glory we can see? So previously also Krishna was glorified here. Janma. Previously he said, in this life itself, he said, Iha. Iha means in this life itself. More glory. Janma bandha vinirmuktaha. So you will go beyond the cycle of birth and death. If you do that, what you do? Karmajam buddhi janma of karma in buddhi. That means every action you should do, it should be with buddhi. Buddhi refers to buddhi yoga, which means Krishna. Every action, if you perform in Krishna consciousness and you give up the result, what will happen? Janma bandha vinirmuktaha. You will get out of the cycle of birth and death. But then I will go in Shunya? No. Padam gachanti anamayam. Anamayam means a pada, a situation, a platform which is beyond the misery of this material world. So he is not leaving you in the desert alone. Get out of my house. No. You will go out of the cycle of birth and death, and where you will arrive? Padam anamayam. That pada, that platform which is out of the misery of the material. What you should do? First line. Karmajam buddhi. So your all action should be related with buddhi. Here buddhi refers to buddhi which situates you in yoga. Yoga refers to jiva and Paramatma connection. Okay, we'll do one more verse, we'll stop. Because 53 is a different section. Last verse. People are too tired. 252. So with Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, you have the top?
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask maybe a basic question here. So what is the instruction for us in our like day-to-day lives when in context of this verse, saying that you should not you should give up the fruits of the karma. So in terms of what we do like for our job or for our home, so what should we take it as?
Okay, so when you have asked this question, that what is in this relation to the verse, so I'll give you the principle and then your next question is detailed. So I'll give you principle first. So Bhagavad Gita is not a book of a detailed explanation of what's the duty of a man, woman, this ashrama and that ashrama. So it's understood that you already know those details. Now Arjun here in the battlefield is confused about his duty. He's not asking Krishna, Krishna, can you teach me the art of archery? Can you teach me the art of sword fighting and all that? Huh? Krishna, can you tell me what do you mean by Ashtanga yoga and all that? So Arjun, say Jiva like us, is already know these things, and Krishna is just helping Arjun to choose which product he should pick up. Right? So first thing, so Bhagavad Gita expects you to know the details of it. And the details which you don't know, there are other shastras like Manusmriti, Parashar Smriti. Those Smritis will tell you your day-to-day life activities. They will tell you up to the detail. I heard in Vrindavan from Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, and I have not read it, but Maharaj said in Vrindavan, he said, it even tells you how to brush your teeth. It's written in the Vedas. Now, I have not read it. Maharaj said it must be there somewhere. It tells you how to wash your hair. Mataji is how should wash the hair. It tells. Maharaj said that. So up to this detail is written. So Bhagavad Gita is not a manual for those details. Bhagavad Gita expects you to know the principles of life, is giving you more description on the yogic perspective and helping you to achieve the best yoga for you. In this case, is Arjun, and that's why Krishna is saying, Tasmad yoga yujjasva. So you should fight, Arjun. and that he has said, and he will say again in 4th chapter as well. So day-to-day details, Prabhuji, we can't find from Prabhuji. And that I think was answered Mahavasut Prabhu and Mataji's question. We have to find your Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru to help you to achieve that detailed answer. Is that okay?
Not really, Prabhu. My question wasn't to ask for the day-to-day details. My question was, when we say we should detach from the fruit of the of the karma, so how should we take it in our in our lives?
How should we take it in our lives? Okay.
Example, we go to work, we do all our work.
Okay.
Obviously, you expect something in return. You give your time, you get paid back for that time. You still have that kind of expectation to get that thing back. How do we detach from?
How we get detached from karma phala in a day-to-day life? Is that okay, Prabhu? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Prabhupada said 2 things. I'll just try to repeat that. So, okay, I'll go to Rupa Goswami first. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, when they left their pada, when they left their positions, they gave up their wealth as well. They gave up the wealth and they gave the ratio as well. In Shastra, we read that in different lectures. What was the ratio, Prabhuji, given by Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami? So 50% they gave to Krishna consciousness, 25% for relatives, and 25% they kept for themselves as emergency. So that's the ratio given by Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. Now Prabhupada said, different times he said differently. As we know, a standard 10%, minimum 10%, you should give to Krishna by attaching that 10% money to Krishna. Suppose you earn $100, at least you should give $10. Rupa Goswami said $50. I'm not sure how many Rupanugas are here. If you can follow our Prabhupada, that itself is enough. 10% also seems a lot sometimes. Anyway, Prabhupada said minimum 10%, but Prabhupada said actually all the money should be spent in spreading Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said that. You can find it out. Prabhupada said all the money should be spent in spreading Krishna consciousness. That's one criteria. Another time Prabhupada said at least some of your money should be given. You can't say much, should be given for Krishna, Lord Vishnu, for temple activities, for missionary preaching activities, and then your money is purified. That is known as giving up karma phala. Is it okay? In short. So I gave you a whole range of answers. You can fit in yourself where you fit. I think sometimes we think Rupa Goswami is saying a lot, 50%. But if you follow Prabhupada, he said all your money. Now, obviously, you, as for Prabhupada, you are living in an ashram. You have a DP. You have a family which belongs to Krishna. You're looking after that family. So you should keep some money for that family and for that ashram so that you can run that ashram, Krishna's ashram, nicely. So if you're keeping $50 out of $100 for your ashrama, you're still giving full karma phala to Krishna.
Sure. Thank you.
Using for your family who are in Krishna consciousness, you are saving and cooking for Lord in the house and now will go back to the Lord. So that is also again comes under devotion.
Actually, for devotees, as far as I can see, 100% money is for Krishna. We don't even spend 1 cent on anything nonsense, right? Our money is utilized for Krishna. But one thing Guru Maharaj said, we should not hoard too much money, because money can cause damage. We should not hoard. We can collect, for example, and give. So don't hoard. Hoard means keeping a lot of money in our account. Money can damage our mind. Money can damage others' mentality towards. They can kill us. They can damage us for the money. It has happened in the past. It can happen today as well. Don't hoard too much money. So that's one of the warning signs for devotees as well. So our mentality, I'm sure, we don't want other usage of money. We don't want that. But again, don't hoard too much money. It can cause damage because Kali is there, and we are not so strong. Maharaj, Prabhupada, they can have ability to use the money, but we don't have that much ability as well. Okay, what's the time now? I think 6:19. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay, suppose different people have different capacities. Suppose I'm a kid, I can only take 5 kilos, for example. So when I say kid here, a kid in Krishna consciousness, a unified devotee, if I have $1 million in my account, suppose, and I may think one day I can use this money for my sense gratification. I can misuse the money. I don't have to give to temple so much. Why temple? Why sannyasis? Let me use this money. So it may damage my own mentality one day. It may happen, because I don't have that capacity. But if someone is a sannyasi, they can have $10 trillion, no problem, because every single cent will be used for Krishna's service. What happens in our case, generally speaking, we give some money to Krishna, some for our sense gratification. When we have to buy something, Bhakti Maharaj said, we should only buy something when we need something in performing our seva. Not that when we buy something, after that we put in the seva. Maharaj gave example of a mobile. You buy expensive mobile, and you say, I'm using this mobile of $1,000 mobile for Krishna service. He said, no, you buy mobile when you need it for Krishna service. Don't buy it and then offer it to Krishna. Don't buy the car, then offer it to Krishna. Buy the car because you need it for Krishna. Then you will never be straight on your path. And I think it makes a lot of sense for all the devotees. So you should have your need very much clarified, filtered, then you act on it. Otherwise, your mind will always be demanding more and more. It's all right. I can afford, $100. It's not your $100. It's Krishna's $100. It's $1 belongs to Krishna. If we are able to save for Krishna, in a nice way, I'm saying, why not? We should not ever think we are the owner of the money. I can use $100 somewhere else. Actually, one devotee said to me, you get power of misusing that Krishna's money. So even 1 cent we cannot misuse. We should ask Krishna. Actually, we should report to Krishna. Maharaj, I have done this from him only. We should report every single dollar in and out to Krishna. Simple as that. Now, how will you say, Krishna, sorry, I misspent your $100 on that shop? You can't. Because he's the owner, he's giving, he can take that facility off in a second. In a second, he can take that facility off from you, give to someone else. Because we are not properly utilizing that facility of Krishna. So we should be very grateful. Thank you, Krishna. I don't deserve it. You have still given me. I'll try to use it in only your service. If I get distant, please let me get chastised by devotees. And then when we're in the association of devotees, you will probably never do those things. The same applies to our time as well. Not only money, time as well. Our bodily intellectuals as well. Time, we cannot waste time. We cannot. It's just, we think, oh, today, no padai, it's all right. No chanting, it's all right. No, it's not. You're a devotee. Time belongs to Krishna. Money belongs to Krishna. My body belongs to Krishna. My body belongs to my Guru. How come I have a right to misuse my life for anything else which is not very Krishna consciousness? So if we are careful in a day-to-day basis, Radhesham, I'll just say one thing, I'll stop. I know you said it late. Radhesham Prabhu said, don't try to become great devotees. No? Don't try to become great devotees. Try to become a bona fide devotee. Bona fide devotee means every moment you're a devotee. Do simple things. Very, very simple things. What your Guru Maharaj or Prabhupada is saying, do simple things. Mangala Aarti, nice sadhana. Then you can go to work. Look after your house nicely. Look after your health nicely. Be a bona fide devotee every time. By being a bona fide devotee every time, you'll become a great devotee. Dhruva was not trying to become great devotee. No? I will become great devotee. My name will come in Bhagavatam. He wanted a kingdom, but he became a bona fide devotee. We are not, sorry to say, bona fide devotees. We are mixed devotees. No? Sometimes in the temple, nice, relaxed devotee. Another time, wasting time, wasting money. Who has given us right to waste our time? Who? Me? Am I the owner of time? Am I the owner of money? Am I the owner of this body or my intellect? I have some intellect. Am I the owner of that intellect? I can misuse. Why? How? Who has given that right? So if we give the ownership to Krishna, we can have hundreds of millions of dollars, no problem. You just say Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, they were not the owner of this 2-bedroom house or a community. They were the owner of the universe. So no problem. Money or family and all, they are not the problem. The problem is our asakti. Phalam tekta abhinishan. Our asakti is the problem. Suppose your DT every day gives you $10. Mataji, this is for a household expense. And when you come back in the week, I will ask you, where did you spend $10? Suppose Laddu Gopalji every day extends his hands and gives you $10. Will you have to report back to him in the evening? I'm talking in a gross sense. But if you mentally say, from Laddu Gopalji, your $10, I will definitely make sure to spend properly. My time is spent properly. Then Laddu Gopal will be very pleased with you. And he will, what $10? My daughter can handle $100,000. And I will not ask any accounting. But if you are not doing proper accounting, our boss will be not very happy. It happens in the work as well. If you do a very good job, your boss will give you more trust, isn't it? He'll give you more questions. He will ask less questions. But if you're doing ghapla, sorry, then boss will be very tight on you. Oh, this devotee is not very, this person is not trustworthy. This employee is not trustworthy. Where are the accounts? Where did you spend $10? Where did you spend $5? Because we are ghaplebaj. Means, we are not so proper. But if you become proper, pakka, bona fide devotee, simple things. You don't have to do big things, big project, big temple. Okay, that will happen. Become a bona fide devotee. Simple, solid devotee every moment. Then you, Prabhu said, you'll become, on that process, on that journey, you will automatically become a great devotee. The problem with us, we are trying to become great devotee. Sabki aankhon mein aana chahiye. I am such a great person. That is our problem. Okay, I'll stop here. Sorry, it's just over time. Prabhuji, Mataji, if you have questions, sorry, we went a little over the time. We've been 10 verses today. But anyway, we'll do it next time. No worries. Now, one quick announcement. Next weekend is long weekend. Also, I can announce that in the temple for the health of His Holiness Kavan Maharaj, we're trying to do some yakya. So if you are free, please come. We'll advertise it later. So we'll have our class midweek, Wednesday. So Mr. Prabhu, I don't know the date.
Yes, Prabhu, we'll have it on the 8th of June.
8th of June,
yes,
Wednesday, 7 to 9, we'll have the class. We'll not have the class next Sunday. Following Sunday, we'll have the normal class. Okay, is that okay? I think everyone wants that long weekend with them. So please come on Wednesday and we'll continue with your questions first and then the topic later. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Lord Premanande.